I'm excited, actually. This is going to be a really good show. Hopefully sustain a nice show that people can get a lot of value from and get a lot of content and good information that can help them. When I say help them, I mean the grassroots goalkeepers, people that we serve at the grassroots level. We're not with any club teams, college teams, pro teams. We have to build everything from the ground up. Everything is work, everything is merit. That's what makes our journey so beautiful. With that journey comes lots of challenges, lots of ideas, lots of opinions, lots of things that most other environments probably don't have to deal with, but we do. How do I get the message out to some of my parents who are learning for the first time, who are going through this maze, who are constantly being bombarded with new trends and new social media and new this, new that, the shiny object syndrome? How do I help them? This is how I'll help you. Stay tuned.
How you doing? This is Coach Gabe. Welcome to the show. Today I'm going to be talking about an interesting topic that I think is very important when it comes to goalkeepers and the environment that it is Southern California. The topic is struggle. It's an interesting word. It's an interesting topic that I think is absolutely necessary to discuss. I have lots of experiences with different kind of goalkeepers from all over the world, and it's an interesting dynamic right here because what is the opposite of struggle? The opposite of struggle is ease. It's even defined as success. But anything too easy isn't always valued as effectively. Goalkeeping has a unique way of humbling somebody who doesn't understand the concept, or frustrating somebody who doesn't understand the concept of discipline. So if we're creating too many things that are too easy for an individual, maybe we're creating a false sense of discipline or a false sense of success. Here are some of the things that a lot of goalkeepers in many parts of the world have a problem with. Not having time to train, not having the relevant experts in the field, not having money to work and play and train in these environments, not having a strong environment in these environments. These are some of the struggles that some keepers have. Not having the correct attitude when going to a training, not earning a position when training. These are some of the things that some people don't even realize are having an effect on our kids when they are becoming masters of this craft, which is goalkeeping. One of the major pain points of a struggling goalkeeper was, in the past, you'd have no access to information. So you wouldn't have information, you wouldn't have money, you wouldn't have the time, you wouldn't have the access to a strong, high-quality environment, to a high-quality expert. But we fast forward right now to the year 2023, and if you're in Southern California as a goalkeeper, what do you have at your hands right now? Maybe you're watching me on a handheld device. You have access to every individual who believes himself to be an expert in the entire world. It's the complete opposite now. You have access to ideas, thoughts, environments. You can find coaches, you can find people, you can find this, you can find that. Oh, I don't like this, so I want to go do that. I don't like this, so I got to go do that. So now we're in a situation where things are much more abundant in terms of getting yourself to a place of mastery. But is the abundance helping us? Is the abundance of these things, of having as many options as we want and doing as many things as we want to do whenever we want to do them, is the abundance truly helping us maintain discipline? And is discipline helping us maintain our mastery? I don't believe so. I believe that there are some things that we have to understand in order to maintain a level of consistency, which provides discipline, which provides a result for our mastery. I think that there's something about that. I'm encountering it in many different ways. And it's a hindrance to long-term development. Maybe in the short term, it feels good. Oh, I can do this, I can do that. Great. But when it comes to a lack of consistency, there is issues. There's a lack of struggle. There's an overabundance. There's a spoiling to a degree. If we're really trying to make strong, independent thinking goalkeepers and make them tough, are we going to make their journey easy all the time? That's an interesting thing to think about. Are we going to give them all the new gear that they need at every moment they need it, in every instance they want it? Is it a thing about need or wants? I'm not sure that's how you create the most strong, independent, strong thinking goalkeepers. I don't think that's how you do it. I think that there's a different way. Here's a story. At 15, my family sent me to South America. I was living in Ecuador. Every day I would sit there and I would, train with a club team out there. We would take the bus. I'd hop on the bus, and on this bus ride we would take it, we'd be picking up people from all kinds of different neighborhoods, some tough little neighborhoods that we'd take them in. Some guys would come with holes in their shoes. Some guys would come with bags, just simple trash bags as bags. And this was how they took gear to their training environment. They'd get there, and then at the front of the gate, they would be, trialists coming to try out for the team. They'd be there trying to try out for the team and making sure, trying to get on positioning in the team. So at the gate, while we're in the bus getting off, you could hear guys that were on the bus who are already on the team bad-mouthing these guys, like, wait till we see you on the field. Wait till you see me on the field, because that's where we're going to be having to have we're going to show you who's going to be the best guy on the field. So new trialists would have to come onto the field and try out against guys who were hungry, guys who had less, who came from different places on earth that were from a lower level of income. And they would have to compete against these guys. And it would get rough. The field would get rough, because losing your positioning on the field on that team meant not just losing a spot on the team. It meant losing a $20 stipend that was a bag of rice, or it was a big deal to the family at home on a monthly basis. It meant losing washed clothes as you got to the field, or equipment that the club would give you. It meant losing experts that could help you train better. It meant losing access to equipment and facilities. It meant losing access to many, many, many different things. So there wasn't just one thing at stake here. There was lots of things at stake here. So the ferociousness of the environment was very high strong. In the entire time that I see this, I had never seen a single trialist make the team, because there was a tension that was driving a lot of these kids to want to become the best. They also had ambition too. It wasn't just a fear. It was also ambition driven as well. A lot of these guys wanted to become world-class soccer players. You can see it in their passion, the way they performed, the way they played, the way they laughed, the way they would battle. It was electric. It was contagious. If we take all those elements away from a person and we give them a bland feeling of access to every single thing at all times, we're taking something away from the struggle in that moment. We're taking away from people being able to fully comprehend the cost, the sacrifice, the purpose of these tools or this environment or this access. We're taking away from these things. This is cultural. We have to take away the sense of entitlement from some of our keepers. Not everybody. I'm not talking to every single individual here. I'm talking to people who are new, who don't know. People who don't know, that's important to me. I want to make sure that people who don't know that this is a thing, because you might not even know that this exists. When a kid goes, "Oh, I want new gloves," is it a need or is it a want? I want new cleats. Is there a hole in the shoe or is there not? Oh, the new ones came out, this one, that, and the other. Okay, great. Fantastic. How do we earn these? Oh, there's another environment. There's this new training technique or coach or this. How do we earn these things? Is this a need or is this a want? Even as coaches, I'll tell you the same thing here. We are lacking in this understanding of struggle for these kids too. Because there's plenty of coaches out there who are trying to just make their name and just trying to go with whoever, whenever, however. And look, I get it. You want to train kids that have a want and a need. But people who are just really just trying to want to come to your session just to see what you're up to, just because parents can get access to you, whatnot. Like, there's something about that is incorrect. There has to be a need. There has to be an urgency. There has to be a sense of desire to want to overcome and to get better. That element needs to be there. And for us to simply allow somebody to come in and out whenever they choose and however they choose isn't good enough for anybody. It doesn't help your environment. It doesn't help your players. You're not conditioning the families correctly. You're not doing these things correctly in order to maintain strong, disciplined, enthusiastic goalkeepers that are going to become incredible athletes and incredible people in the world. Recreating struggle in an environment where there's abundance is probably one of the biggest struggles, if I think about this, that there is in terms of creating awesome athletes. Because there's a sense of urgency in an environment where they do not have certain things. There's a sense of value to the things they do not have that increases without having it, if that makes sense. You do not have something, it absolutely becomes that much more valuable. I remember with my parents, we were looking for consistent trainers, expert trainers. We were looking, searching, trying to find this. And this drove us to send me overseas, literally. That was the sense of urgency we had, the sense of wanting to accomplish, right? And it was in that sense of urgency and wanting to accomplish where I was able to find things and really try to really magnify, all the literature or all the knowledge in those moments. And really every single session would give me, I would try to apply myself in those sessions. But if I'm really just trying to, I have access to this, I can come whenever I want and go whenever I want and not be as committed, not be as consistent to the environment whenever I feel like I can or need or whatever. Like, if there's a sense of that urgency, it's wrong. It's incorrect. There is no urgency. It's a lack of discipline. It's a lack of focus. It's an entitlement feeling. And there's no entitlements in certain environments that want to create disciplined, strong people. Because when you get to the place, these are your coaches right now. Yeah, absolutely. As a youth player, yeah, they're your coaches. But when you get to the highest level, they become your managers. They become your boss. They become people who are expecting a performance of you. Development no longer is the conversation. It's all about managing you now. And that's a big wake-up call. And that wake-up call a lot of times happens in college as well. That happens in college. So if we're going to condition our students that have zero struggle, that get new gear all the time whenever they feel like it, that get access to the environments, they can come, they can go just because they don't feel like it or whatnot, or they could, they're just constantly, I want to do this, I want to do that, and it's a constant state of going from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. We're conditioning a person that has no consistency or has no understanding of a value to the things that make them better. And if there's a person that is conditioned in this way, how are we supposed to make them strong and disciplined? How are we supposed to make them understand how to fight for something? And that is something I'm pleading to everybody in this video that we need to do in our environment in Southern California. And I'm talking about all the other environments. I'm talking about ours and specifically in Southern Cal. There's so much out there, correct, 100%, but not everybody is for everybody. And not everything is for everybody all the time. That is incorrect. Some things need to be, actually everything should be earned because it tastes that much better when you earn it. If we are not giving this opportunity to earn something to our kids, we are doing them a disservice. We are doing them something that they can never fully comprehend the value of or savor the victory in. Earning something feels much more gratifying. There are 1 million coaches out there, and there's 10 million students. So make sure you choose correctly. Make sure that the people that you are around, the coaches that you are around, are asking strongly of you. Because if they're not, there's a problem. And if you're not asking strongly of yourself when it comes to certain things, whether it's committing to an environment or committing to your own process, there's an issue. There's a lack. There is a void. It's an invisible lack. You can't see it until it's too late. But I'm saying it now because there's definitely a strong urge to voice this opinion. There's a lot of people out there who should be understanding how important struggle is to this equation of success. You hear it all the time. I was trying to prove myself. I didn't have access. I didn't do this. The training session was over here. I know many pros, guys who I've worked with, who traveled 2-3 hours one way just to get a good session, and then 2-3 hours on the way back. It happens. It's happening right now. It's happening right this second. But you have to truly value what you're trying to get. You have to truly value the environment that you're going to. You have to value these things. Because if you don't value it, it's very clear. It's very clear. Coaches know when you don't value their sessions, their environments. They already know. But they have to make the call. And making that call for some of these coaches, they're not making the call. They're not excluding you from the environment. They're not making the call. But they need to. And some of them aren't. And that's where we got to do better. Okay? Because, yeah, your standards are your environment. Your environment are your standards. If there's an environment out there that isn't strong and you're able to do whatever, whenever, you'll be a part of it, no problem. But if there's an environment that is strong, where people are getting results and getting the discipline, you're going to get those results. So good luck out there. Make sure we're doing what we can to the best of our ability, and we're learning and educating ourselves better about our discipline, our struggle, what we can do to overcome. If we lack struggle, what we can do, because that is a struggle, right? So, if you have any questions, send me a message right here down in the comments. And if you think I'm absolutely wrong, send me a comment. I'm happy to debate you. I see it all the time. Happy to debate you. With that being said, good luck out there. Coach Gabe, I'm out.